side of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. We must meet the common foe, far outnumbered. Let us show us brave. Their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men, we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying but fighting back.
But they know not the hour, so they bribe it with their guns, spare parts, and money. Trying to belittle our integrity now. They say what we know is just what they teach us. And we're so ignorant, cause every time they can reach us through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you're gonna get some food, your brother got to be yours. Enemy will ambush in the night. All guns aiming at me, ambush in the night. They open fire on me now, ambush in the night. Protected by His Majesty, ooh-wee, ooh-wee, oh, ooh-wee. Well, what we know is not what they tell us. We're not ignorant of meaning, and they just cannot touch us. Through the powers of the They say what we know is just what they
Dervan.
and we're so ignorant that every time they can through political strategy, they keep us hungry. And when you're gonna get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. Well, ambush in the night, all guns aiming at me. Ambush in the night, they open fire on me now. Ambush in the night, protected by
It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 10th day of the third month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. Millets, as we've been telling you and will continue to tell you all month this month, a millet is a cereal grown in warm countries. It's spelled Millet, grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Here in Jamaica and in the United States, the month of March is being observed as an Intellectual Disabilities Awareness Month. Also in the US, March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, Endometriosis Awareness Month, Salt Awareness Month, and in the UK, March is also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. March marks Women's History Month as well. The dry season celebration is on in Myanmar, Burma, and Harriet Tubman Day is being commemorated in the USA. Hoy es viernes el 10 de marzo 2023 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
all guns aiming at me. Ambush in the night.
C'est vendredi le 10 mars 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story. Le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 13h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Friday, the 10th of March, 2023, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
but they know not the hour. So they bribe it with their guns, spare parts, and money.
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is different. Marjan's Pharmacy, code 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
Your taxes hold the key.
Let's get digital. Get online this March 15. File and pay your final income tax return for 2022 and estimated return for 2023. There are so many options. JamaicaTax.gov.jm, direct funds transfer, NCB online banking, and Scotia online and mobile app. Pay your taxes the digital way. All returns must be filed online and on time. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Chad Ad Distributors are the island-wide distributors of the popular Maxxis tires, plus Sumitomo, Falcon, and Solidil. For batteries, Mayatsu, AC Delco, and for lubricants, it's Petro Canada. Visit us at 87 to 91 First Street, Newport West. Telephone 901-6612 or 383-4363. Chad Ad Distributors Limited, your place to retire.
Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wow. Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wow. Well, what we know is not what we're not ignorant. And they just cannot touch us through the powers of the Most High. We keep on surfacing through the powers of the Most High. We keep on surviving in this
Ambush in the night. Oh, my society. Ambush in the night. They're going to conquer me. Ambush in the night. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point, this is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States or the United Kingdom. Those in the US who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281, 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you do not have a Facebook account, no sweat, there's always YouTube. All you need is a smartphone or a tablet computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. Then you need internet connection. More importantly than internet connection, or more important than internet connection, is internet connectivity. That is when the rubber hits the road and you realize you can browse. It means you have connectivity. If not, then something is amiss and you'll have to get it fixed. Good afternoon to those of you who have logged on early and are greeting us. Thank you very much. Aston Matafa Jones, good afternoon to you. Jacqueline Simmons, blessings to you too. Oliver Masters hails the one most honorable Nesta Gong of Jungle Kingston 12 with a sweet chariot. Words on Facebook Live. Norman Hines says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners. Happy Friday, you all. Happy Friday to you too, Norman Hines. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. What's on your mind this afternoon? The lines are open to you. 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Have you ever wondered where the word Friday comes from or how it came about? Well, the Scandinavian goddess of love, Freya, Freya. Now, a couple of things there, a couple of words perhaps to clarify and make sure everybody is on the same page. There's a group of countries. It relates to Scandinavia, its people, its culture, etc. So let's back up a bit. Scandinavia is that large peninsula, and a peninsula is a piece of land almost surrounded by water or projecting out into a body of water. So that's the peninsula. Now, spelling of the noun as Peninsula instead of Peninsula is a common mistake. The spelling peninsula, Peninsula, should be used when a noun is intended, whereas peninsula is the spell, as in Peninsula, is the spelling of the adjective, as in the peninsula part of Malaysia. How did we get here? Right, we were checking up on the origin of the word Friday. Right, so let's go back a bit. So Scandinavia is that large peninsula in northwestern Europe, occupied by Norway and Sweden. So we're talking about the Scandinavian countries. Norway and Sweden readily come to mind. Scandinavia is bounded by the Arctic Ocean on the north, the Atlantic Ocean on the west, and the Baltic Ocean on the south and east. It's a cultural region consisting of not just the two we mentioned already, Norway and Sweden, but Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, and sometimes also Iceland, Finland, and the Faroe Islands. Faroe, Faroe Islands. And right, so that's Scandinavia. So let's get back to the story. The the Scandinavian goddess of love, Freya, Frey, was deserted by her husband Odin, Odin, or Wotan, Wotan, the god of war, wisdom, agriculture, and poetry. So let's do that again. The Scandinavian goddess of love, Freya, Freya. Remember, we're giving you the background to the naming of, depending on what's the practice in your country. They, for some people, it's the fifth day of the week. For 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 others, it's the sixth day of the week, etc. But we don't want to complicate matters now. We're just giving you a quick background on Friday and how the name Friday came about. The Scandinavian goddess of love, Freya, Freya, was deserted by her husband Odin, Odin, or Wotan, Wotan, god of war, wisdom, agriculture, and poetry, because she paid too much attention to a life of luxury and not enough to him. Odin may have forgotten her, but history didn't. The Old English for her name becoming the basis for our Friday, Freyadag, or Freya's Day. I hope you picked up the connection. So, Odin, well, the Old English for her name, and the her we're speaking of here is the Scandinavian goddess of love, Freya, Freya. The Old English for her name becoming the basis for what we know as Friday today, Friday, Freyadag, Friadaeg, or Freya's Day. So that's pretty much how it came about. Wednesday is named for Wotan. Wednesday is named for Wotan, Wotan. That's the background to Wednesday. And people associate some kind of seance or some scary happenings to take place when the number 13 is associated with Friday, Friday the 13th. Why is that so? Well, Friday is considered unlucky by some because it was the day of Christ's crucifixion, while 13 is so considered because the Last Supper was attended by Christ and his 12 disciples. But these widely believed superstitions actually go back much further in time. Today, few, if any, buildings have a 13th floor, and many sailors object to leaving port on a Friday the 13th. In the theater, the widespread Friday the 13th bad luck tradition applies only to opening nights. According to according to theatrical tradition, a show should never open on Friday the 13th. The reasons behind the tradition, if there are any, are unknown. Lillian Leitzel, a Barnum find, fell to her death in 1931 while performing her aerialist act on a Friday the 13th. Oh well, so that's a bit of background for you. Just thought we'd share with you as we like to do here on both sides of the story. Hello, Faye Weller. She says, blessed afternoon to you, Mr. Dervan, and listeners. To you too, Faye Weller. Hubert Fowlin, good afternoon, he says, Mr. Dervan Malcolm, and a very blessed Friday to you and your listening audience. Thank you, Hubert Fowlin. Sophia Nemad, good afternoon to you as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. And the very best. Good afternoon to the young people who are in touch with us right here on both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to the entire Black River High School family, where we spent the day yesterday, and it was a day well spent. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call this and every Wednesday evening at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness. Your one-stop place to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-4112 or by sending a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Brought to you by Benson Pharmacy and Wellington Dental. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. This and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Power 106 FM.
Protected by His Majesty. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Oh. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. To the young people listening to us now, we're going to share with you the 10 best jobs of 2023 and beyond. The 10 best jobs of 2023 and beyond. And those who are out there listening and you're looking for a career or a change of career, well, in the United States alone, in this year, 2023, at least 8 million new jobs are being added, as in not necessarily the simple form of thinking 8 million new jobs, because America racks up quite a lot of numbers when it comes on to jobs in any given year, even in times of recession. But the 8 million new jobs doesn't speak to head count, but speaks to various career and vocational occupations. So here are the most in-demand jobs of 2023. And parents might want to share this kind of information with their children. It's not hard to find. There's a blog, a career-oriented blog called Emeritus, Emeritus, Emeritus. And the headline is, here are the 10 best jobs to move into. Here are the 10 best jobs to move into in 2023. Now, if you'd like to take stock of your career and life goals, 2023, there's no time like the present. And with this list of best jobs 2023, you'll be able to decide on what skills you have that can be adapted to a different industry or if you can change streams altogether with a little help from online learning. Here are the most in demand jobs of 2023. Number one, data scientist. Data scientist. In America, they say data, data. Data scientist. Haven't you heard yet? Data is the new gold, and the gold rush it has created in the job market is not going away anytime soon. Data science related jobs will continue to rule the roost here in 2023. In fact, according to Business Insider, data science jobs will continue to be relevant all the way up to 2030. Now, there is a catch. There are several different roles and jobs that come under the purview of data science. And for someone who is just starting out or looking to switch career streams, this can be very confusing. So you can go through Ultimate Guide to Become a Data Scientist for guidance and clarity. If you need more information, you can Google Ultimate Guide to Become a Data Scientist. Ultimate Guide to Become a Data Scientist. Now, what are the perks? Apart from an enviable pay package, you're in a career that is future proof. Future proof. In other words, in time right now, times gone by, or in time gone by, in right now and in time to come, we will be needing data scientists. So it's a career, it's future proof. That's how they refer to it. That means it will survive it's in the future. Or that is what is projected. Speaking of projection, in terms of the average salary for a data scientist, you're looking at $101,736 per year. Feel free to do the math. It's about 154 Jamaican to $1. You can do the calculations there. But that's the projected average salary, $101,736 per year. That's in the United States. What are the skills required? Data analysis. So if you have an analytic mind or analytical mind, this could become your gold mine. So data analysis and modeling. And no, we don't mean putting on a fancy dress or shirt and posing. No, not that kind of modeling. But to be able, by virtue or using the root of capturing the image, the essence of the material, whatever that material is, and how you would like that material to be employed in furtherance of this project. And so you create a model or models to get a better understanding or to allow others, to give others the opportunity to buy into the project. Because you know how it is, people want to see it, they want to be able to touch it, they want to be able to feel it, they want to be sure that they are getting exactly what they are supposed to get. So data analysis is important if you want to become a data scientist. Modeling, knowing how to model, and again, we don't mean dressing up and posing on the runway. Mathematics, here we go. Those of us who shy away from math and are afraid of math, well, if you're even harboring thoughts of becoming a data scientist, you might want to sharpen your mathematics skills and statistics. That's another subject. I think we learned some of that in, was it sixth form in high school? Math and statistics, you're going to need those. Basic knowledge of coding. And we've been having a lot of coding sessions right across Jamaica. And a lot of children have been learning coding. Basic knowledge of coding, Java, Java, Python, Java, Python, Python. All of those would be an added advantage. Data visualization and presentation skills are also critical because I mean, you don't just put the model down in front of a room and say, this is the model, this is what we're going to do. Thanks for coming. Goodbye, everybody. No, data visualization must be evident, and your presentation skills are going to be key in explaining that which you are projecting, that which you are constructing, that which you are creating, that which you are building. Now, to have a successful career in this field of data science, you want to explore online data science courses. And again, the organization, this online learning uh, entity or platform, Emeritus, Emeritus. Just Google that. So number one is data scientist. We're looking at the 10 best jobs for 2023 and beyond. So data scientist is number one. Number two, machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineer. According to LinkedIn, the website, the platform, LinkedIn, hiring of machine learning engineers grew by 32% between 2019 and 2020, with more and more companies investigating machine learning as a way to protect their businesses from future disruptions. The demand for machine learning engineers is still shooting up. And that is how machine learning engineers have earned the second spot on the list of best jobs for 2023. And for a better understanding, you might want to explore different types of artificial intelligence and machine learning courses on Emeritus, Emeritus, depending on the stage you are in your career. What are the perks? Your career graph will grow exponentially, and you have the option to solve real life problems. The projected average salary for those who are in the business of machine learning engineering, then you might want to, well, the projected average salary is 124,059 US dollars per year. The skills required, statistics and probability. That's another approach, another word that is well known in these fields that we're outlining. Probability. What's the probability of this happening or that or not happening? Data modeling. Again, once you have that data, you are able, if you're so inclined, you should be able to engage in a bit of modeling that would inform the possibilities and potential of the model. Programming languages like Python, Python, and C++, artificial intelligence algorithms. This is high science now. Now, it's all out there for you to brief yourselves and choose accordingly. Number 3 on the list, nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioner. According to the Business Insider, nurse practitioners are going to be the most in demand jobs in this year, 2023. Well, that started even before 2023, because with the onset of COVID-19 and all that COVID has brought with it, and the ramping up of the numbers, the number of health professionals, not least of all nurse practitioners. So nurse practitioners are expected to be the most in-demand jobs for 2023. That's according to Business Insider. This is primarily because quality healthcare is one of the most valued professions in the future. Quality healthcare. Who doesn't want quality healthcare as they age? Who doesn't want you, Chandel? Oh, your time signal. You are signaling. Okay, take the break and come back, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Supreme Real Estate, licensed real estate dealers, the experts in residential, commercial, industrial, hotels, and villa sales, rentals, and leases. Supreme Real Estate, Main Street, Salem, Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Call 876-973-5026 or 876-973-6142 and email supremerealestate@cwjamaica.com.
Hello?
It's who at the gate.
Hush, child, me no want them see me.
But mommy, is the census takers?
Me not tell them my business.
But mommy, they need information about all the households to help make decisions about where to put things like clinics, stores, and new roads.
So,
Come, mommy. You count, me count, all of we count.
Data collection for the census continues. Soon, a census taker will be coming to you. Look out for them and let them know you count.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. If you're wondering, the lines, yes, the lines are open. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number. You can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us as well, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. So we're looking at the top 10 professions, the top 10 jobs of 2023 and beyond. Number 1, data scientist, as we said, with a salary, an annual salary of $101,736 US. And machine learning engineer at number 2. And that sector has grown by 32% between 2019 and 2020. And then that projected average salary is $124,059 US per year. And we were on number 3, nurse practitioner. And I have been exposed to quite a few nurse practitioners across the diaspora, and they are doing very well. They operate their own healthcare, in some instances, geriatric care enterprises, and they do very, very well. The projected average salary of a nurse practitioner is $122,744 US per year. The skills required of a nurse practitioner: the ability to communicate with patients. Communication is key. Impeccable assessment and diagnosis. You can't afford to make a mistake. You cannot afford, as a nurse practitioner, to make an error. Impeccable assessment and diagnosis Those are requirements. Aptitude to educate the patients. Not everyone has the skills to be able to educate patients so that they get it. The ability to convert medical research into practice. It's one thing to do the research, it's another thing to apply that data, that research. And all round general knowledge of the latest medical practices. And again, there are online courses available for those who would like to explore this field of healthcare. Number 4 on the list is marketing analyst. Marketing analyst. Now, we have known for a long time that it's all well and good to put the goods on the shelves. It's all well and good to take stock and to do the inventory and all of these things. But you might very well be stuck with those goods if nobody but you and yours know about those goods. So the word has to get out there. And that's where the next profession comes in. Marketing analyst. Marketing analyst. That's number 4 on the list. Marketing analyst roles are also an offshoot of data science jobs, but as it is not a core stream profile, profile, they have listed it separately here. A marketing analyst is expected to analyze data sets of market segments or campaigns and come up with usable insights, those catchy phrases and turn of phrases and so on, and very catchy ads like my all-time favorite ad. I'm trying to remember it now. All-time favorite. So it's the one that says, "Is who that a come through there, so? No, Miss Cassie Big Data. To who? No, Mass Nathan she bring things for. But after on a lunchtime, and she not carry no shed pan. Massa, where she bring no come in a shed pan. She bring the appetizer. The what? Appetizer? No, you see when Nathan done that, watch him a go cut banana quick and brisk till him lunch come. Then who bring that? No, Miss Hilda. No, that come in a shed pan. And afterwards, she give him the dessert. What that? Same thing Miss Cassie Big Data bring for him. Say what? In at this your son at? That them man they must a drink dragon. They know that them bring for him. What else you did think? Yeah, that's my all-time favorite, actually. Very well done. Lenford Salmon, he was the lead in that TV commercial here in Jamaica. So it's being able to come up with that kind of creativity and to package it and present it in order to move those goods off the shelves. The marketing analyst is key in that regard. And as one of the top picks on the Best Jobs 2023 list, the position of marketing analyst requires both scientific knowledge and business acumen. You get in terms of perks, you have the option to work from anywhere and the opportunity to show your creativity. The projected average salary is $76,470 per year. So the skills, let's give you some more on the skills required of the marketing analyst. advanced data analysis skills, ability to build attribution models, knowledge of experiment designing, data reporting in the form of dashboards or reports, and a knack for forecasting trends using data. So you should be able to tell us where the market is going before you actually get into the market or before the market starts moving, in a manner of speaking. Forward thinking, forward planning, prognostications, projections. And then in position number 5, we have network security, and we don't need any examples here. We have had security breaches, cybersecurity issues. Did you know that the global annual cost of cybercrime is estimated to be $6 trillion per year? And that's US dollars, of course. Yes, did you know that the global annual cost of cybercrime is estimated to be 6 trillion US dollars per year? Also, cyber crimes, you see, because more of us are taking courses and we're doing online courses and we're on YouTube and on the other learning channels and so on, and we too are learning, and they have these hackathons and these things. So the use of that precious knowledge has come under pressure, and some people have buckled. A lot of people have buckled under that pressure. In fact, cyber crimes have grown by more than 600% since the onset of COVID-19. Cyber crimes have grown by more than 600% since the pandemic. So if there ever was a time to get into network security jobs, it is now. It's one thing to have physical security guards, but they can't necessarily, or they don't necessarily operate in the network world as far as cyber crimes are concerned. That's a different team you're looking at there now. So if there ever was a time to get into network security jobs, it is now. Network security professionals are expected to keep the internal data of companies as well as their clients and partners secure, and they are very well paid because you don't want to lose them. You don't want them moving all over the place with the knowledge that they have of your operations. You want to keep them as long as you can. And network security professionals are expected to, well, we said that already, but as the cost of a security breach is excessively high, this is a rather lucrative job opportunity. That's, like I said, they are very well paid because, and they have lots of perks too, because you don't want to lose them. Because if you lose them, what the song says, if you lose me, oh yeah, you lose a good thing, just like that. Anyway, and so because of the cost of a security breach, which is excessively high, it's a lucrative. The job of a network security professional is a lucrative one. On average, or the projected average salary is 103,518 US dollars per year. The scope of work, the scope for the network security roles, that's also growing. So there's a job security, yes, and continuous learning. Job security and continuous learning. Those are two perks. In terms of the skills required, the ability to preempt security breaches. So you must always be ahead of the hackers and those who would seek to breach cybersecurity. You have to be at least one step ahead. And that's another song too. One step. Anyway, let's move on. Serious business we're talking here. So the ability to preempt security breaches, having the mindset of an ethical hacker, an ethical hacker. So this person is able to test in a real way the security soundness of whatever systems are in place. So that, but because he's a good person, he's not a criminal, and he's doing it legitimately, you refer to him as an ethical hacker. So he's doing the hacking not for bad, but for better. That's the idea. So he's always on the job. Requisite technical skills and certifications, those are necessary. You don't want any and anybody to be doing handling certain materials, certain data, and accessing certain areas of cyberspace. And then there's the perspective to understand the larger picture of data ethics. Of course, the field of cybersecurity is constantly evolving.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Through political strategy, them keep us hungry. And when you got to get some food, your brother got to be your enemy. Hell, ambush in the night. Living at me, ambush in the night. They open fire on me now. Continuing on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Feel free, the lines are still open, 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. We're sharing with you some facts in relation to the 10 best jobs to move into in 2023. Number one, quick recap. Number one, data scientist. Number two, machine learning engineer. Number three, nurse practitioner. Number four, marketing analyst. Number five, network security. And that takes us to number six, project manager. Now, who in the world doesn't need a project manager? There's a saying, I think it's one of Peter Drucker's books, that says, those who seek to lead but fail to manage will become either irrelevant or dangerous, not only to their organization, but to society. Those who seek to lead but fail to manage will become either irrelevant or dangerous, not only to themselves and their, sometimes I put in selves and organization, but not only to their organization, but to society. So the project must be managed. Otherwise, you're going to have all kinds of overruns. You're going to have laborers stealing material that is supposed to go into the construction, for example, with all these construction sites that have been springing up for the last 3 years or so, the past, at least within the last 3 years or more, all of them springing up all over the place. For the most part, from what we have observed, because we like to observe when we travel across this country and check out who is doing what kind of development is taking place, etc. And what we have found, by the way, is that it would appear on the face of it that Manchester is now the capital of used car dealers or used car dealership. There's a used car out a used car lot every few chains or meters as you go along through the parish of Manchester. There are used car dealerships everywhere. I think St. Elizabeth is trying to get in on that act as well. Clarendon is trying to pick up that as well. But anyway, let's get back to the point we were making about having a project manager. So this is position number 6 on the list in best jobs for 2023 and beyond. About 89% organizations now have at least one project management office, PMO. 89% of the organizations now have at least one project management office, and 50% have more than one. So that's how serious project management is. Project managers add tremendous value to an organization by making sure that all resources are utilized in the most efficient way. You can't be wasting the material and wasting the fixtures and fittings and chemicals and all the other elements that go into these construction sites. So if the project manager helps to foster, to engender, to nurture an environment of efficiency. The role of a project manager is a mix of many aspects like people management. People management. We have some talented Jamaicans who can really manage people. We have others who don't have a clue, but such is life. People management is critical, because everybody has an ego. And as we like to say on this program, man's biggest problem is a 3-letter word, E-G-O, ego. And whoever can best manage that collection of egos is likely to be a most sought after individual by those engaged in projects. So project managers are people persons. Project managers are efficiency conscious people, right? So the project manager is engaged in a mix of many aspects, like, as we said, people management, technical troubleshooting. The project manager must be able to say, okay, for example, I passed a certain housing development this morning, and that's the one that flooded and cost the taxpayers of this country, what was the figure? Somewhere between $55 and $60 billion. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm remembering. Serious business. Because obviously there was a flaw in the development. There was a flaw. So that has caused damage, which the developers have I don't know if everybody got a new car yet, but or whatever the arrangement was, but apart from that, they have to correct whatever problem led to the flooding of those buildings and parking areas. And therefore, so people management, technical troubleshooting, leadership, it goes without saying, as we like to say on this program, there's only one way to lead, and that is by example. Full stop. That's it. One way to lead, by example. And the project manager is also supposed to be adept at planning. The need for project managers will grow with the new hybrid of what do you call it? Work from anywhere models. I remember being in Los Angeles, California, several years ago. So it's been going on for some time. They work remote work. That's been going on for some time, because I remember the Jamaican who I was traveling with in that car on one of those highways in Los Angeles, California. He was telling me that his job, he's a technician. I don't remember all the details, but he's a technician. So he repairs printers, computers, etc. But guess what? He doesn't jump in his car to drive from California to Las Vegas, Nevada, and then go on to some other to Texas and wherever he is in the world, and he gets a notification to say there's a problem with printer A at, this is John Brown, whatever, however they do it. There's a notification, and he then goes on his device and remotely repairs the printer, just like that. So that was several years ago, as I said, maybe more than several, at least 10 or more years ago. Let's go back. That would have been about 2012, was it? Yeah, about 10 or 11 years ago. So imagine now. So with this business of working pretty much from anywhere, we are likely to see a further growth as far as the need for project managers is concerned. That's number 6. Let's move. So the skills required, strategy. Oh, the projected average salary is $81,121 US. In terms of the skills required, strategy, time management, people management, leadership skills, good communication skills, excellent Excel skills, and must be able to stay ahead of the curve, and so on and so forth. Also, we're not going to get rid of human resources positions. Not that easy. Because again, we're talking about people management, managing people. That is essential. We have to keep them happy, keep members happy, motivated, energized, etc., etc., etc. And there are employee-oriented administrative work that needs to be done on an ongoing basis. Those who are on health, the healthcare component, the staff development, etc., etc. So you're not going to get rid of human resources roles. Human resources have been an integral part of any organization starting from the late 1960s. However, this is a field that has seen major growth and transformation during the COVID-19 pandemic. Remote work, hybrid models, and what we call the gig economy. What is that? An increased focus on outsourcing work as short contractual gigs. Those have completely changed the job description of human resources professionals. While their roles might have altered or been altered, the importance of their role has grown as the workforce adapts to new working models. What are the perks? Job security and the possibility of making workplaces more equitable. The projected average salary, $70,838 US dollars. The skills required, top-notch communication skills. If you are HR in this day and age, you have to be a top-notch communication-oriented individual. Problem-solving abilities. And I want to just take out the term problem-solving for a moment and say the world is hungry for problem solvers. The world is craving problem solvers. People who are genuine. They genuinely love their work. They genuinely love the challenges that their work environment present. It gives them they have this. It gives them some kind of some sense of just wanting to make a difference, wanting to solve this problem and move from one to the other. Imagine how well, let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The girl past my granny I save her money under her mattress. But at all times something. That's where I save my money in the bank and become a wife. Buy a little house, but also saving a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So, what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where GDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the GDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at gdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
GDIC, protect deposits for you and me.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature Hyper Food Independence. Hyper Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's Hyper Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. Hyper Food Independence is sponsored by Hypro.
Your taxes hold.
Let's get digital this tax season. File and pay your final income tax return for 2022 and estimated return for 2023 due on March 15 with tax support in so many ways. Start connecting with us through our web hub at jamaicatax.gov.jm, customer care center 888 tax help or special taxpayer assistance program. Tutorials available online. All income tax returns, including individual, must be filed online and on time by March 15. Tax Administration Jamaica, changing the way we do business.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's take a break from the blog, the career blog that we've been sharing with you from the website Emeritus, Emeritus, looking at the top 10 best jobs for 2023 and beyond. We'll get back to the list in a moment, but let's get in some more of your calls. Well, some of your calls, as many of them as possible. 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon, Brother Ormsby.
Yeah, sure. I just said that my subject won't contrast your own.
That's all right, man. Go ahead and share, please.
Yeah, it is 707 seven wonders of the world. I can remember two, but I can recall five.
You can say that again. You can recall.
Two.
Mm-hmm.
The two that I can recall, the Gulf of Mexico, where the seven seas meet, and the fall in, Niagara Falls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had the privilege to visit Niagara Falls, and it's really a wonder.
Yes, I did a broadcast from Niagara Falls a few years ago.
Yes, I went on the water as well, you know?
Yes, man, we were on the waters, broadcasting live.
When you can see that water coming about 50 feet up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing.
Yes, it was a lot of fun for us.
Yes. But what I want to say, Mr. Malcolm,
yes.
You have more mysteries in the world, no more than
the seven.
Because when you look at the airplane or aircraft, whatever you call it, it weighs tons upon tons, and it's out on the runaway there, right? And 200 people aboard it, with so much baggage, and it's run off. It's run out, took off and gone up in the air. Is that a mystery?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. We have been fearfully and wonderfully made and gifted with talents, creativity, etc., etc., and we make good use of what is in our environment, and we create things. And the aeroplane is no different. And from one thing, it's like history. One thing leads to another and another. It's endless. The same thing when it comes on to creativity and development and building and create and constructing and all of that.
Yes.
One giving rise to another. So you build one or you set up one system and you think this is it. But then something happens at some point later on and you go, hold on. We could, yeah.
But my, it is called technology.
Yes.
The word is called technology in the world, you know?
Yes, it's ever changing.
But I call it God had you know.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Whatever going on, I call it God had you.
Absolutely.
I inside my living room, right now, with a instrument in my hand. And I'm speaking to you up in this road now, right?
Yes.
I'm speaking to the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mystery.
Yes, yes.
So my technology is a name to say techniques.
Mm-hmm.
But I call it God. What do you think about that?
I am with you. I'm with you on that. Yes, why not? It's something I've always said because I've done a few broadcasts from the Civil Aviation Authority and learn about the aeroplane and what is it that is responsible for the capacity of this system, this invention to be with all the weight that it is carrying, to be lifted seemingly so freely and easily. And then they tell me, all right, here's a good example, but don't, if you have to do it, just do it safely. Put your hand out the window, driving on the highway, and you feel the wind. The wind is lifting your hand and it's pushing your hand.
Yes, I was in a plane, you know, coming back from Florida.
Yes.
And Mr. Malcolm, the plane fell out of the sky, you know, coming down and people shouting. And the pilot lifted it up back and put it on the course, you know, sir. It was a frightening situation, you know.
Yes, we've all had our fair share of frightening situations. I remember going to London.
Yes.
And there was a certain spot, there's a certain area that we got to. And I've never felt such dreadful movement and shaking and the sounds and the screams. It's called turbulence. And yes, and I thought to myself, well, this is it. And that's what I was there thinking, because I mean, how do you survive this now? This is it. But we give thanks. To God be the glory. We're still here. Yes.
The Bible said nothing made that was made without God.
Yes.
Nothing made that was made without God.
Yes.
And we have to give God the praise and honor. Respect one another, love one another. Amen.
Amen.
Because we are nothing without Him. Respect one another, love one another. All this hatred and covetousness and killing one another for this and that. It's you know, something wrong with us, you know.
Yeah.
Something wrong with us. So, we bless her, God bless you. I have a good and godly day.
I thank you very much. As you go, let's just remind ourselves of the seven wonders of the world. The Colosseum in Rome, Italy.
Yes. So everyone thanks you, yes, huh?
Okay, so you don't want to hear the others?
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, the second one, the Great Wall of China, which I had the privilege to climb.
Yeah.
Next in line is the Taj Mahal in India.
Yes.
That's number 3, the Taj Mahal in India.
Yeah.
Number 4 is the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil.
Okay.
And number 5, Machu Picchu in Peru.
Yeah.
And then we come to number 6,
Yeah.
Chichen Itza, Mexico.
Yes.
And number 7 is Petra in Jordan.
Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't really mention. I couldn't really mention that was in my head.
That's all right.
I remember the girls of Mexico. We're flown with us already.
Yes.
And I tell that told us that we're about the Gulf of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I've been to America for once.
Yes.
So, we're from Mexico, sir.
Indeed.
Nothing made that was made without God.
It's all quite fascinating. Amen to that too. Thank you so much for the call.
God bless you, Mr. Malcolm. And keep going, you know?
Bless you too. Thank you very much.
You are very informative and enjoy your programs. God bless.
Bless you too. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. So I think we stopped at Project Manager. Oh, let's go. 876-922-4112. For your patience.
Yeah, good afternoon, my professor.
So sorry you're calling so late in a manner of speaking, because we don't have it today? Oh, you're okay. Well done.
Yes, Dervan, you know that it's cheap to call your program.
It is?
Yeah, man. All you have to do is buy a credit and put on a plan on the credit flow 5-day plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get unlimited call right through for 5 days.
Very good. Nice.
Yeah, my phone bill for last year was 30,000. Yeah, and I put it on my tax return, my annual tax return.
Yes.
And I get a tax credit for it.
Look at that.
Yeah, because, you know...
I can't remember ever getting a tax credit, but it's all right.
All the expenses that you have.
Yes.
You put it on your tax thing.
Mm-hmm.
And once you file early, you're good to go. Because tax day is the 15th of March.
Yes.
And everything must be done online because we are in the digital age.
So I hear the ad saying, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon to your listener and your staff.
We accept afternoon greetings on their behalf. Yes.
Dervan, you know that you, Dervan Malcolm, you have a mighty shoes to fill within the next 20 years or so. Because you are one of them that go have to teach the Jamaican people financial literacy.
Mr. Malcolm, most of our people don't understand money, and they don't understand the value of time, and they don't understand cash flow cycle. Most of them cannot do mathematics, and I don't owe anybody any apology.
Yeah, it's a fact.
And it's a fact, don't it, my professor?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we're going to talk about management you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When I was studying for my professional qualification, they say I must 4 things I must manage better.
Mm-hmm.
My time, my money, my stress, and my risk.
Time, money, stress, and risk.
Yeah, risk. And they say that the risk is the hardest things to manage. Because you never know what the future holds. You know what will happen in the next minute, like when you went on that plane.
Yes, indeed.
And they say why you must manage these things. Like for example, if the average listener out there write down everything that they do for the day, from you wake up 5:30 or 6 o'clock, when you wake up, write it down. Wake up at 6 and write down everything that you do for the day. You know, when you're reviewing that timeline, Mr. Malcolm, you can find out what you're wasting time on and eliminate it from your portfolio and you get more productive.
That's smart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that with your money, we wake up like this.
Hold on, let's talk about the money and you waking up this morning right after the break, please.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Yes, sir.
Your money now, like I wake up with $10,000 this morning. Every money we spend for the day, we write it down and write what we spend it on. And you see, before me go on my bed tonight, you can look at my money spending habit during the day and eliminate something for tomorrow.
It sounds like you don't need my help in that regard then. You are the one who's going to help to educate us on these matters.
No, Mr. Malcolm, you know, we are on the 4th estate.
I know.
And the whole concept of the 4th estate came out of a revolution, the French
Revolution, yes.
Thank you, my professor. Thousands of Frenchmen died. Blood run like river in France.
Yes.
You know, the other day in France, they plan to raise the retirement age.
Oh, it's been a few years now, actually. In fact, they were the first I heard with this business of raising the retirement age.
By 2 years. By 2 years, they put on it, you know.
Yes.
And millions of French people will vote against it.
I remember that.
Yeah, and in Jamaica, Mr. Malcolm, you know that when you retire at 65, you're not getting your NIS pension until you're about 70.
So I hear.
Nobody revolt in Jamaica about that because they don't understand money.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
And they have been tricked by these politicians because they dress up in 3-piece suit, come down in a parliament with them pretty car and them pretty perfume, and their supporters and banging on desk. They don't really mean the average man any good enough.
You have to help us to call them out, you know, when you do your homework.
Mr. Malcolm, I'm on the 4th estate with you.
Yes.
You give us this forum, you create this program. RGR Gleaner Group employ you to educate the people so that we can have a better future.
True.
Because of these politicians don't know where to run and where to hide in the digital revolution. You know? They're looking to transfer that stress to the average man. Because they won't be able to maintain their status around here in 2040, you know, because the life can catch up with them.
Yeah, there's a horse racing term that speaks to the pace leaving the horses.
Thank you, because this is a marathon, Mr. Holness. It's not a sprint. The stress need better management. Stress.
Mm-hmm.
Most Jamaicans die from stress-related illness every year. The major three being heart disease, stroke, and hypertension.
Yes, I met a gentleman yesterday who essentially spoke to that subject in terms of there was a time that he was trying to do everything and just constantly at it, and he got sick and had to pull back from all that he was doing because the stresses of life got the better of him.
Look at those teachers who you say demonstrating.
Mm.
The average teacher in that line earn approximately, based on the new salary structure here.
Was it 3 million a year?
Yeah, that is the upper teacher. But let's say average it at 180,000 a month for the smallest teacher in that demonstrating group.
Mm.
Mr. Malcolm, 180,000 a month. Is that monkey money? Talk to me, my professor. Just talk to me, man. Let me know what's going on in the system, sir.
Yeah.
180,000 a month to pay a mortgage, student loan.
Which is why when other opportunities present themselves, especially overseas opportunities, a lot of our teachers don't even look back.
I'll never tell you why.
Because go ahead.
My apology, my professor. I'm going to tell you what one of the things that is reaching us why our stress levels are so high and our risk is not properly managed is that most of those teachers in the line, I know a lot of them, and the single mothers, those ladies who live alone, and those men who live alone, they need to know that the system wasn't designed for teachers, policemen, nurses to drive cars.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it wasn't designed for that. When they're doing your salary classification at the ministry, they don't put in if you have a mortgage or you drive a car, how much grocery you buy at the supermarket, you know. No. They just work off for the money that they collect and what they allocate into the salary. And when they match out their preference worker, they just lump everybody in one group and you take it or leave it.
Oh.
That's how they work. I work with staffing for nearly 20 years. You know.
That's the Statistical Institute of Jamaica.
Yeah, and the last post I have up there when I resigned was a senior accounting post. I know the whole thing, but while I was working at staffing, I was under what is called a gag order. You know that they give us gag order.
Yes. So you can't publicly disclose.
Yeah, you know why they put us under gag order? They don't want the secret of the system to be revealed to the Jamaican people. Government, do that to the people, you know, Mr. Malcolm.
But we look at it again. We have you. You got insider information, and the gag clause is no longer in effect, is it?
Yeah, you know how I managed to escape the rat race?
How?
By educating a woman. And a woman helped to educate me.
Mm.
Yeah, I sent her to school and she upgraded herself. And then all of a sudden, when she migrated, she valued 5 times than what she was valued in Jamaica.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and then she helped me to go back to school. The politicians who leading us, you know, Mr. Malcolm, ask them where they're leading us and when we're going to reach. Moses never reached the promised land, you know. So if Moses never reached the promised land, or the broker that reached the promised land, or Mark Golding, you mad? Mr. Malcolm, it's 4 things they say you work for, you see? Food, clothes, shelter, and tender loving care. Most people tender loving care out of work in this country, you know, Mr. Malcolm.
Yes, because then the stresses of life intervene. They come in between the couple and that.
I'm a professor, and the people that know say
We are in a vicious cycle because of these political leaders who leading us astray while them enjoy the fruits of our labor. Let me give you two scenarios before we come off of the rail. During the negotiation with the Ministry of Finance, a group of professionals went to the ministry to talk to the minister, including a lot of our trade union leaders. And they suggest to him that the work from home during COVID, when they do the analysis, it wasn't bad enough. A lot of people work better from home.
Right.
And they say, why is it that people, the professionals who live in places like Portmore, who have to drive and pay toll, if they work at home, they could save X amount per month. Like when I work at home, if I work at home, I can save 40,000 every month in the summer. I don't have to buy no food on the road. I don't have to take no bus. I don't have to give away any money. I just stay home. I'm more relaxed. I'm stress managed. The minister said, no. He wants them in the workplace. You know why? The system that they set, they cannot afford for the Jamaican people to save any money or stop spending it.
Oh, really?
Thank you, sir. Check the savings rate in Jamaica.
Oh.
They cannot afford for you to save no money because the system needs it. And you know what they need it to? To transfer it to their creditors. To use it because they believe that their creditors can spend the money better than me and you, the average man. Who's reaching can invest my money better than me at NCB? Who told you that, Mr. Minister? When reaching not even give me 1% of my savings at NCB, yet the government have law. Say if them catch me with $1 million, I'm a yard, them all lock me up. What kind of system this, Mr. Malcolm? You know what Mr. Biles do them? Mr. Malcolm? For our people to know the mathematics. Come here, come off a radar soon, come here, get vexed. When they raise the interest rate to 7.5%, the DOJ trying to compete with America so that the capitalists don't have capital flight and run away with the US, them lodge it in America bank and get bigger interest. The Bankers Association supposed to pass on certain amount of interest to the savers in the bank. But they're not doing it. You know what Mr. Biles did them last month? He just raise the reserve ratio and take 20 billion out of the economy from them. And tell them, say, since we're not give the people them, bring it down at the bank here and make the trade in the vault, make it gather dust. Because we don't have no use fee. You think that is right? And I don't hear the finance minister talk about that in his budget because that's not on his mind. He's not business with poor people. But them are bound debts.
So where does all of that leave us? I mean, how do we get out of this quagmire?
The people, the average man has to make sure that he know and medicate himself. And he listen to people who is willing to talk the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And you need a forum where the people over 65 who's on pension can call you and tell you what they're feeling in the inner cities and all over the place. Because some of them can't ever buy credit put on them phone. I'm going to leave you with this. Two things I'm going to leave the people them with, Mr. Malcolm. If Jamaica was running right, you see the minimum wage when I'm going to raise next month, the 1st of April, and you say $12,000 to $15,000 a week on the table. Whatever the minimum wage is, it should be the minimum pension that is paid by the NIS if the system was running fair and equitable in the name of God. And I want the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Nigel Clark, tell Neville George Carter, who has been educated by the people in this country, say a lie here then. I mean, I want a big life in them, I want to live in one room and enjoy my food, clothes, and shelter. And they could tell the love and care and down my bed, you know. I mean, I want a big house for me, you know. We live a comfortable life in Portmore, you know. If Jamaica was running right in the name of God, the minimum wage should be the minimum NIS pension, Mr. Minister, Mr. Prime Minister. And don't tell me some much wrong, it's right. Because, Mr. Malcolm, hello?
I'm listening intently.
I don't want to get too vexed by your show. Now, leave you with it.
Yes.
You see, most of these women that you see demonstrating, the teachers, them, and the police, them, where you hear about, say them want money. Most of them live single. If they were living together in partnership, like how God made us to live, if a teacher get 180,000 a month and her husband get 180,000, that would be 360,000 going into one household. That could work.
Mm-hmm.
But the male and female not cohabitating properly in Jamaica because of ego.
Yes.
And that ego is destroying us because ego means easing that out.
And especially when you are involved in more than one household.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. Mr. Malcolm, just one more minute.
Mm-hmm.
Come April 1st, the policemen will be getting time and a half for every overtime that they were the first in the history of Jamaica. That is one of the reasons why the government don't want to raise them base pay, because they know that the time and a half overtime going to be strenuous on the backs of the Jamaican people. Now, when you look at the social statistics in Jamaica...
Hold on. Come back to the social statistics in just a moment, please.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 754-3714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45.
Yes, Mr. Carter, I'm just remembering that somebody overseas has been asking me to share your contact details with him. Are you there?
Yes, Mr. Malcolm. Hello?
Yes, I was just remembering that someone has been asking me to share his number with you.
I have a phone number up there, Mr. Malcolm. I can give it to the producer. Anybody can call me anytime.
Yes, I'll as soon as you're through, I'll ask you to hold the line, and the program assistant on duty will take your number so I can pass it on to the gentleman in New York who wants to reach you.
Yeah, listen this.
Uh-huh.
When you look on the social side of Jamaica, policemen, taximen, fishermen, soldiers, they have the most baby mothers in Jamaica, you know, especially the policemen. Now, when you see the government having problem paying police, because the police protect them, you know, it is their defense. You know what they will resort to? They will create a traffic bill, like the money bill that they call in the traffic act. They will take away the taximan money and those who drive cars and hand it over to the police. Because the police, they see them as priority. You notice during COVID, Mr. Holness and one thrown a lockdown people business, I call them non-essential. A prime minister is supposed to call the entrepreneurship non-essential, you know?
I'm sure he would deny locking down any business.
And when him run off the people them out of Africa and all over the city and tell them to stay home.
He will tell you that that was under a particular law with respect to COVID-19, to manage COVID-19.
It's full-time mocha. And all of these CIAs over the world tell the people where COVID come from. Because them didn't know, say, weapon of mass destruction in Iraq, but they don't know where COVID come from. The whole of them are hypocrites.
Well, their credibility has been shattered, quite frankly.
Thank you, sir, my professor. Thank you.
Based on all...
Them lock down the people them pick me and turn some of them in a salad because they know that they're going to replace them with robots.
Well...
robotics by 2040. So I'm going to tell you, leave you with this now. You see, the police and the soldier that them go have to pay these big money, they will take away your money in a traffic ticket because the average police who used to write the traffic ticket is $4,000 a day and get him pay average. And when him write one ticket, it is 2 days pay him get. And when him go around at the station, the super say, only this amount of ticket they write for the day. Then we take away your money and give it to the police and soldier. And the police and soldier will use their status with their gun and more money.
Realistically, though, I mean, they can't do that.
No,
How do they?
They take it away through the traffic ticket.
Oh, through the system. Oh,
Through the system, man.
oh.
The system there show you.
I thought you meant one-on-one. Come here, take
No,
this.
they don't
That
have to
kind.
touch you, Mr. Malcolm.
Okay,
My
okay.
80-year-old, my 84-year-old mother in her yard now listening to the program.
Yes.
And $16,000 a month she gets from the NIS with your pension.
Oh.
She's 84 and she has 3 diseases in her body: heart disease, hypertension, and diabetes. And when she go to a public, them they are 6 months to come back. 6 months to come back. They will take your money through inflation, what they call it, and it over to the police and soldier. You know, the police and soldier will do to people like me and you. That you, Mr. Malcolm, the taxi man, then, and the truck transport. They will take away your girl, and they will use your girl for some serious, tender, loving care. Have a good day, Mr. Malcolm.
God forbid that doesn't
God
happen.
bless the day that you were born, Mr. Malcolm. Mr. Malcolm, actually, you don't know you inspire never Carter. I feel you to me too. Take care.
I'm humbled to hear you say that. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Malcolm, you're my radio professor, one of them.
Thank you. Take care. Thanks for the call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We take note of the fact that there are a couple of our listeners trying to get on, except that the line they're using is already occupied. And so we will go to that caller who is holding on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. So the caller who is trying to connect with us from Florida, we have another call on the line. And who else? There's somebody else who was trying to get through. Sean was trying to get on the line a while ago. He couldn't because there's someone on the line, and there's yet another person who was trying. So if you're all listening, those of you who have been trying to get through on 876-365-3346, you're unable to because someone else is on the line. And in fact, we're going to take that call right now. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. Are you there? All right, maybe that person fell asleep. All right, whoever else wants to call, go ahead. If you want to call the 876-365-3346 line, that's open. I should use the opportunity to let you know that I went to pick up Mr. Robinson's electronic Bible earlier today. So I have it here at 32 Lyndhurst Road, home of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group. It's here. And for those of you watching, this is the package that we've been waiting on to take it a little closer to Mr. Robinson in St. Thomas, who made an appeal for a replacement for his electronic Bible, otherwise known as his digital Bible, otherwise known as his talking Bible. So we have it here. We have it here. And we're going to speak with the gentleman who went ahead and bought this talking Bible, this digital Bible, this electronic Bible. And so we're going to call him and see. Well, we have Mr. Robinson's number, so we'll just call Mr. Robinson, or he's free to call us as well. We have your Bible here, Mr. Robinson. So now it's just a matter of picking it up here at 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. So, Mr. Robinson, if you want to tell us the best way or what would work best for you to move it from this point, see where it's moving from? Moved from, what does the package say? Something like Miami and then Kingston. And then, of course, it went to the shippers. And right. So we need to move it now from 32 Lyndhurst Road to Mr. Robinson in St. Thomas. All right. So we'll talk to Mr. Robinson about that. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. To the Consumer Affairs Commission. They're watching, they're listening. Welcome. Peter Gracie says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good to see you. One love, my brother. One love to you too, Peter Gracie. Velta Wilson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Hope you all have a blessed weekend. Same to you, Velta Wilson. We wish you well. And clearing some of the other messages. Donovan Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Donovan Campbell. Karen Rowe says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Listening in from Snow Country. Oh, where is that, Karen? You have to be a little more specific. Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Have a blessed weekend. Karen Rowe says, good afternoon to all listeners. Kareen Campbell says, good day, Mr. Malcolm, viewers and listeners. Have a wonderful afternoon and be safe. Kareen also says, Mr. Malcolm, do you know of any credible agency or agencies that assist with finding boarding accommodation for students in the Kingston area, to be exact, nursing students? I know there are premises within the precincts of Papine and surrounding areas. There are premises that are always available. But I'm not sure the extent to which they advertise, if it's in the classifieds, in the Gleaner and the Observer, or whether they use other means, for example, on campus posters, etc. But I can't think of an agent. But again, there's a job opportunity for somebody. I can't think of an agent or anyone along those lines. I'm thinking as I'm speaking, and I can't think of anyone right now who would be able to. Can't think of anyone right now. But now that you have raised the subject, we'll open our eyes and ears a little wider and see what we can pick up. All right. So Kareen Campbell says, preferably halfway tree area or nearby. Afternoon to you. And I can't accept the title that you're giving me at all. Galloway Kevin. That's please, no. He says, grace, mercy, peace, and love to you and all saints predestined for the Lord's Christ child. Okay, Galloway Kevin. He says, good afternoon also to Miss Christine McLean. And Asher Ash in London, England says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Have a nice day. Same to you, Asher Ash. Let's go to the phone lines once again. To the caller who is muted, please unmute so you can go on air. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Uncle Dervan. It's Ellie.
Hey, Ellie. How are you?
I'm good, doing well. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. Did you go out to school today?
No, it's been disrupted since yesterday, so
I know.
I decided not to risk it this morning.
Well, let me not monopolize your time. Please go ahead. What's on your mind this afternoon?
Well, I'm here to talk about the whole application process for universities. As you may recall, I'm currently in my second year of sixth form, and it's coming to an end. So have been looking about my applications for university and exploring my options, right? And it's no secret that the process is nothing easy. It's quite extensive, even whether it's local or overseas, and you have to procure your supporting documents. The current situation with me now is that since this week, I had to apply for my police record for a particular program. They need me to provide my police record. And what happened was I paid for my police record to be processed within 5 business days, right? That's the express service locally. And they gave me a date that is way beyond, I think, 31 business days away from when the payment was made.
Oh
So
dear.
I reached out to the establishment and asked, inquired instead of being too flustered. I inquired, how is this what you're providing me with? It's far beyond even the regular waiting time, which would have been 21 days. So they said that the payment has nothing to do with the waiting time. And that's not convenient for me because it's not as if I am being irresponsible or waiting till the last minute. If it were, the time that I paid for, it's convenient. It's before the portal for the documents closes, but they have given me a waiting time that stretches far beyond the closure of the portal, which is not my fault. I'm saying it's slackness.
Yeah,
In simple terms.
it sounds unprofessional. It
Yes.
it it smacks of unprofessionalism.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. Did you try to speak with somebody in a senior position?
I think I had to talk to the person that was directly communicating with me, but I think I'll have to take that route
Not
instead.
everybody.
But I have to.
Unfortunately, what we have in Jamaica, and not unique to Jamaica, but we tend to have too many square pegs in round holes. When that happens, we get a situation like this. Just a moment, please, Ellie.
Right.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Que ahora es en español, son las 4 que le retire en français, les 4 heures, ciencia, TDN le, CDN, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, taking your calls on 876 922 4112 to 5. One of our regular listeners, Ellie, is online with us. And thank you for holding, Ellie. Hello?
Hello, I'm here. Sorry about
Yes,
that.
that's all right. Thanks for
Yes.
holding.
Yes.
Right, so
Yes,
clearly
no problem.
it is obvious. I don't know if it's because part of one of the sticking points for us in Jamaica is too many of us are tend to be too many of us, not all of us, too many of us, lackadaisical, wishy-washy, uh,
Mm.
just sort of anything goes, and as long as I'm getting paid, well,
Yeah, mediocre service because they know
yes,
that they'll be getting paid.
yeah,
Right.
and
And
so
I'm
yeah.
not alone, I'm not alone. I made sure to ask, like, I wanted to know if this experience was unique to me, which I knew was unlikely. But I asked some of my colleagues, some of my classmates that are applying for the same schools, the same programs, and need the same documents. And they said they immediately related to the same situation. And some of them have longer waiting times than me, and they paid for the express service just like I did.
So when do the
So
5 days expire?
when do they?
When do the 5 days expire?
Oh, all right. So for me, it would be next week, Tuesday. Right. It should be next week, Tuesday, that I get through.
Yes.
Right. And for some of them, it should have been last month because the 5 business days would have expired for them as well, and they haven't gotten through as yet.
I tell you what I would do. You may or may not choose to do this, but I would have to go and set up a vigil at the premises, wherever that is. If I have to go there every day and sit or stand until someone sees to my needs, and if I have uh, to get TVJ and or CVM to share the story with, I'd do that as well. We have to do better than this. It's like
That's
trying to hold back someone who's trying to move forward. We
right.
cannot we cannot and we should not stomach such individuals. I'm sorry. We don't have any
That's
time for
true.
that. We have a we, there's so much work to be done in this country, and if we have our students who are trying to raise the bar and have done well enough to be afforded and accorded invitations to this or that university, whether here in Jamaica or elsewhere in the world, so that at some point or another, in one way or another, Jamaica can be richer, not necessarily only from a material perspective, but richer for having produced these outstanding students. How can we be holding back children who are trying to, students, young ladies and young gentlemen, holding them back from pursuing their destiny? No, that those people are roadblocks. There is a line from the song by, oh gosh, there's just so much to remember. There's a song uh, that says something along the lines. The title is "The Times They Are a Changin'." "The Times They Are a Changin'" by Bob Dylan. And there's a line where he says, uh, and it's important that people hear this. It says, "Come, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway. Don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled, because the battle outside, raging, will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a changing." And people, the point we're making is there are too many people who are standing in the doorways and who are blocking up the halls and are holding back progressive Jamaicans in this country. Those of us who want to go ahead, those of us who want to do well, those of us who want to expand our horizons. We have people whose only job, it seems, is to stand in the doorway and block up the hall and to tell us no. There are people in this country who who are excited to tell us no, and they do it with a smile. No, no effort beyond that. We really hope you're able to get a hold of someone who is not a roadblocker, someone who is not like a crab in a barrel. We hope you eventually get through to someone who is able to respectfully and responsibly lead you to the point you'd like to get to as far as this transaction and documentation with this organization is concerned. We
I
really,
hope so as well.
yeah, really hope so. But keep,
And you know,
go ahead.
I was trying to make the point with the person with whom I was corresponding. They were saying the payment has nothing to do with the processing time, and I was telling them if that were the case, if that is the way that you operate, then there should be a standard fee, and then you get whenever appointment time is available, like the visa or the passport processing time. But no, you have a set of prices and processing time, and then you're going to tell me that it doesn't coincide with what I paid for.
Well,
That's unacceptable.
this is why we have artificial intelligence these days and robots who are taking up certain positions, because the level of efficiency seems to be far greater, from the robots than others who are employed to serve the public. And people don't make the distinction between service and servitude. So when you start talking about customer service, they tell you slavery done long time. Who's talking about? We're not talking about slavery. We're talking about customer service.
Customer service.
Yeah. Well, look, try as best as you can to see if you can identify a contact number. I don't know, in the directory or online, the online directory, to see if they can direct you to, I almost said, to an adult. But you get the point. No, we have to do better than this. This is just sloppy, really sloppy. But you have the raw meat, and I encourage you to seek fire in that regard. Whatever possible openings there are that you could pursue to ensure that these people don't sabotage your future.
Right, I will make an effort, of course.
Yes, and please keep us in the loop, and we'll keep our eyes and ears open. If there's anything that comes, any bit of information that might be useful to you, we'll gladly share it with you.
Yes, that's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. And all the best to you and the family.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care.
You too.
Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah, that was Ellie. Thank you very much, Ellie, for your call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. So whoever else wanted to come in on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, here's your opportunity, because we just cleared the call that was on the line. But there's one on the general line coming through right now. So we'll go to one of those general lines, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yes, and this is Robbie, you see?
Yes.
I've been listening to you on Neville. And I think that Neville has been very unreasonable to the government, right?
Unreasonable?
Yes.
Explain.
When I listen to Dr. Clark's parliamentary statement this week, right?
Mm.
And the amount of things that government has to do.
Yes.
People only think that government have enough money to do everything. I mean, if it's not even paying tax.
True.
Okay? And never is unreasonable. What I hear say that, nurses, teachers are getting, right? I didn't even know that they were getting that much. And government is now thinking of adding to it, right? And government have so many things to do, fix, repair roads, build new highways, you name it, right? It's unfair, man. I have been a government worker for all of my life. I'm now retired, right? I was a building inspector at the KSSD, work with Ministry of Education in the building department, and other government departments. And I'm getting a pension now from NIS and ordinary pension, right? And I am really satisfied, not that it's big, but I'm satisfied government has so many people to deal with this way, right? And so many other things that government has to do. We don't look at that. I mean, the government have gold mine.
Absolutely not. This is not Guyana.
So why people think the government just get money freely like that to just do everything?
Well, the government has to tell us about the money that they have and what they plan to do with it. So that's when people know that, when that is divulged, then people start to do calculations to say, so you can make payments now. For example, with the teachers, the thinking is that for years we've been telling them hold strain, and they have been holding strain. And now that there's an opportunity, there's money available, naturally they're going to think, well, now is the time.
Well, when I hear of the amount of things, when I listen to Dr. Clark's speech since week, and I see the amount of things that government has to do, we have to think like that, man. We have to think more wise. If we were in government ourselves and in their shoes, only that time we would understand. We have to try and understand other people's problems too.
Yes.
And the government is not a government to have a gold mine and all them things that will for money are coming in stuff. No, man. It never is very unfair. You listen to him many times and I like listening to Never, right? But this time I think he's most unreasonable to the government. Right? And I am standing up for the government unless I hear them doing something bad, I'll talk against them. Because I'm not a party man.
I realize that, yes.
I'm neither a PMP nor JP. I grew up in the PMP with my father, but I vote for anyone I feel like voting for.
Yes. Well, your position is quite clear. You think perhaps Mr. Carter went over the top.
Carter never named.
Yes, yes.
I didn't even know that.
Hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner with Dana Walker Huntington, during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-9224-11225, or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's Your Legal Corner with Dana Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:16. 现在几点了？4点16分。16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? Yes, young people, we know it's a Friday, but you know what we always say? Have some fun doing the homework now so you can have some more fun this weekend. How about that? We trust you. Well, good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get out to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Good afternoon let's go through a couple of these messages. Let's see. It's quite a thing when you shift around these tabs, not intentionally, but then it's like the whole screen goes berserk. Hold on, let's see if we can bring this one up. Oh well. We're gonna have to do it the hard way. Let's do this. Can you give me both, please? All right, so here are some messages. Some messages that have come in since the last time we checked. Let's see who is online. Nicola in central Jamaica, good afternoon to you. She says, didn't get a chance to say hi yesterday, but I enjoyed the broadcast from Black River High School Step into the Future program. Happy to hear that, Nicola. Elder Michael Needham, good afternoon to you. He says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan Malcolm. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Elder Michael Needham. Inez Ayona Campbell says, happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you too, Inez Ayona Campbell. Lisa Brown Campbell says, really nice hearing Ellie. It's unacceptable that she paid for expedited service and won't be receiving same. She definitely should call the business back and ask to speak with a manager. Yes, we hope she is able to successfully follow up on that. Dr. Trevor Dixon, emergency medicine physician with Jacobi Medical Center in the Bronx, New York, founder of Jaja Foundation, Jamaicans Abroad Helping at Home. Dr. Dixon says, greetings from Dr. Trevor Dixon and the whole team at the Jaja Foundation, expecting snowstorm in a few hours. Oh dear. Ooh. Stay warm and dry. Thank you for sharing and all the very best. Let's see. Let's go to the lines once again. We have someone here who has been holding for just about 3 minutes, 26 seconds. Do you have anybody holding on that side? For how long? Who? Who was that? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the gentleman who was on. Hello? I'm so sorry about that. I'm multitasking, which the experts tell us that we can't do as much as we think we can, the way how the brain functions. But anyway, sorry about that.
That's human, Dervan.
Yes. So I'll allow you to complete your thought. Please go ahead.
No complete, no. Did you hear what Dr. Clark said in the speech?
You mean sitting and listening to it from top to bottom, so to speak?
Yes.
No, I don't have that privilege at all.
Well, yes, I didn't hear it. It was extremely interesting. You know what I mean? I couldn't leave the radio at all.
Oh.
Or the TV, I mean. I couldn't leave it. The other thing I just want to say before I go.
Yes.
I would like to see the death penalty enforced, you see? For those who are proven guilty to have murdered people. I would like to see it enforced. And God requires it. It's a man which shed man's blood. By man his blood must be shed. That is government. And if government don't do that, you'll find that people are going to take it up in their hands to revenge anybody who were killed for them. You get me? And we have to, you're going to have more murders like that.
Yeah.
And we have to try and avoid that. And the other thing is, I would like to say the Cat 9 come back. You know about Cat 9, Dervan?
Yes.
Yes, that those who are found with illegal guns should get the Cat 9 and you do have to keep them in jail for long. You know what I mean?
They're already getting 50 years.
Well, they could give them less years when those who are found with illegal gun, I mean?
Yes.
They could
get up to 50 years, I think.
They could give them far less if they don't commit any murder, but give them the Cat 9 a few times and let them out. And the taxpayer will pay less money that way. Right?
All right. We hear you. We hear you loud and clear. I mean, you obviously are firm in that position, or the positions that you have long shared with us on this program. So we're not surprised.
You remember?
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, man, but I believe in the death penalty a lot because God requires it himself, you know?
We hear you.
Yeah, yes. And if you just allow it like that, to find that people can take it up in their own hands to revenge their family. You get me? And you will have more murderers like that. You get me?
Mind you, the verdict is still out on the impact of capital punishment on a country's murder rate. So that debate will continue.
Yeah, man. All right, then,
Thanks. Sure. Thanks for the call. Take care. Okay. Bye bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. To the phone lines once again. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
That gentleman that just got a while ago, Mr. Carter,
Yes.
he made like 32 Mr. Carter in Jamaica to speak up like that. And it can change Jamaica. Crime, violence, everything in Jamaica can be changed. Just like that man speaks. The man just start a while ago saying don't support Mr. Carter speech. We don't know what he's saying. I live in Westmoreland, and 7 miles just like around 2 square miles. 7 miles old. And I can tell you, from Monday to Saturday, they have like 50 police and state charges street. And you don't have one and back street except the soldier them depends on for corner. And crime the left, right, and center. You can't stop your vehicle, police depend you. You can't stop me from the road, police depend you. That man, Mr. Carter, is perfect right. I support that man 100%. I would like to get his number because I'm going to take him back and put him on YouTube because everything you put on YouTube, but you don't put good things on YouTube. You never see the good things in Jamaica yet. Thank you very much for your program, sir. First time calling, but I really have to really answer.
Sure. Thank you for the call. Take care.
Okay, Mr. Malcolm.
All right. Bye bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Do you have a timer on the other call? This one has gone now 8 minutes and 39 seconds. So I'm saying I'm going according to the time. So was that one before this one? All right. That one for 12 minutes. All right. So let's go to the listener, the caller who has been holding for 12 minutes. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
How are you today, sir?
I am fine, thanks. Is it Captain? What's the title again?
Sergeant Peter Xavier Williams.
Sergeant Peter Xavier Williams. Good to talk with you. How are you?
I have to give God thanks, sir. Sunday gone, the 5th of March was my 90th birthday.
Oh, my word. That's excellent going.
By the grace of God, sir.
Yes, indeed.
But may I say condolence to the family of the grand old man, Sir Reverend Malcolm, which is your grandfather. He and I served together at telephone company.
My grandfather?
Yes, sir. Mr. Malcolm, Reverend Malcolm. He and I served at the telephone company. I think it's connected to you, sir.
You might want to check that. I mean, my father worked at the telephone company.
It could be him.
Yes, must be him.
And he passed on.
No, God forbid. No, he's still very much with us.
Somebody else, sir. Give him my compliments when you next speak with him, sir.
Yes, but I think he knows of you. That much I know. But he's still very much alive. Thank God.
Yes, sir. When Sir Howard Cook was governor in the seat, he had vindicated that he wished that the school would have 5,000 Boy Scouts and Girl Guides within the schools. That would enhance a lot of discipline among youth who will be our future tomorrow.
I think that was one of the strategies employed by the former education minister. I think it was under his watch, Ronnie Thwaites.
Yes, sir.
The idea was to restart, reinvigorate, relaunch the what they call them, the uniformed groups in schools. Those with the Cub Scouts, the Scouts, the Girl Guides, etc.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure that went anywhere.
It did not go anywhere to the best of my knowledge, so, and I do hope that they will bring back the memory of a former commissioner who was passed on, Mr. Frank Muirhead. And so the rules and the commandments that were given, the 10 commandments, were, please let me inform you, sir, because from 14 I was a scoutmaster, led to scoutmaster for the Alpha Boys School, Scout Troop, and the word
promise. I promise to do my best, to do my duty to God and the Queen or the King, to help other people at all times and to obey the Cub Scouts law. And the rules were the trusty, loyal, helpful, brotherly, courteous, kind, obedient, smiles, and thrifty. And most of all, to be clean in body and mind. If these were enacted in schools throughout Jamaica today, we would be a better country. And so, sir, I do pray that somebody will listen to me and bring back those uniforms, group, and hence more discipline would be shown to particularly to elder people and to build Jamaica to make it a better place.
Amen to that.
So, sir, may the good Lord bless and keep you and your program and all your listeners. And if anybody wishes to have my number to call me to tell, so I can tell them more, may I have your permission to give you my...
Sure. Hello? Did we lose him? Sorry about that. Let's continue with more on your program. Oh, let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:30. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:30. 现在几点了？4:30. 4:30 in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Follow 106 FM. Good afternoon to Mr. Robinson in St. Thomas. Hope he's listening. I'm now finding out that I have a mighty long list of Robinsons. So I will now have to comb through, unless I had put some kind of notification or notation beside the number, which I'm not sure I did. But, oops, what happened there? Let's bring this up. Bull Bay. Oh, I'm seeing a contact here. Need info. Is this one? Not that. Yeah, we're gonna have to comb through the WhatsApp to. All right, I think this is a. Is this it? Bring this up. Yeah, I think we have it. We have it here, but yeah, we have it. We have it. We'll come back to that. We do have it. Or is that his? That's the office number. All right. We'll sort that out. I was just trying to find the number. But he apparently isn't on WhatsApp. I think that's what I'm finding. No, he's not on WhatsApp. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Dervan, is my time?
Hi, yes, it's your time. Go ahead, please.
Dervan, quickly. Okay, doing.
Fine, thanks.
Well, it's not going to be stalled out. I think they say inch, so that's not, so for us, it's not that great. So, Dr. Dixon said, don't worry too much, not too much.
Okay.
Anyhow, with the snow, any snow is snow, because, every be careful with driving and stuff like that.
Oh yes,
also.
and you have on your snow tires, right?
I wear all season tire. I just change them like 2 years, like I change them. They're like a year old, so they're pretty good.
All right.
But all season, so you can
Nice.
drive on them, all season around. Tell Robbie that one thing I would get not more than one. It's more than one thing, but more than one things. But one major one. I want to ask him, if you kill somebody by mistake, the person, you realize 5 years on the road, the person was not guilty. What do you tell the family? Was convicted wrongfully. What do you tell the family, Robbie? What do you do? What do you say? What, sorry? Sorry can't bring back a life. So that's one of the concerns that I'd have with the death penalty. And as you were saying to him, studies have shown that it's not a great deterrent. These guys, they, getting caught and know they're going to get caught is a more deterrent than even the death penalty, because if you don't catch the person, you can't even try them. You can't hang them. So catching them on a high rate of what you call it, high rate of these people get caught. In my opinion, it's probably a much deterrent than even death penalty. And if you want to death penalty, let's do that first. We got to work on that first, catching these people, get the guns out of these people's hands. We don't manufacture guns in Jamaica. They have to come from somewhere, right?
Yep.
So get the guns to keep these youths, these young people's hands. The bullets and the guns. I think the new law, wasn't the new law, Dervan, if they catch you with a gun now, what happened? They get what, 50? Well, how many years do you get now?
I think the maximum is 50. I've been hearing about 50 years. I think that's the maximum. But
50 or 15, which one?
50.
Wow. If they catch you now with an illegal gun, you want to check that out and come back and these are the things that's good to let our people know. So the mothers out there, the aunties, the uncles, telling these youths that the government knows if they catch your youth with a gun, they're going to go away for a very long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mothers need to start telling their sons, why, listen, gun sentence is 1 year, right? Don't follow these bad companies. Stay away from these companies because you don't want to go to jail, prison for the rest of your youthful life. I think the mothers need to be. It's a good thing if we can get the numbers out there so they can come here and try to explain the new law. So we can get to the mothers, them, and the aunties, them, and the uncles, them, and the fathers to let them know, especially the boy kids, get yourself away from illegal guns,
so
right?
I should tell you that the minimum is 15 years in prison before becoming eligible for parole.
Wow, it's a long time, Dervan. So if you're 20 now, you're gonna be 30, 35 minimum. The first offense. 35 in Dervan. You're gonna be 35. If you're 35, you're gonna be what? 45. If you're 35, you're gonna be what? You're gonna be almost 50.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
So get away from that gun running, guys, please.
Yes.
Dervan, when it comes to Neville, he's a very clever guy, but Neville's a clear PMP, you could tell. And I respect some of the things he said. Some of the things he said is correct. But one thing we have to observe, Dervan, Jamaica is not a rich country. It's not a rich country. We don't have the tax base are not there. The government, I know the money probably can be spent more efficiently. That's, some things are probably not prioritized. But the problem we have in Jamaica is teachers need to get more money. Because if you don't here in that part, you're not gonna have these kids. You can't have 40, 20, even 30 kids, 30 children in a class is too much. I think the maximum you can have in one class is probably 20, right? And if you don't pay these teachers, you don't have to pay them. Most teachers know that Jamaica can't pay them like the US or England or wherever, Canada. But if we give them even 1/3 of what they can get over here, a lot of them would stay in Jamaica. They would stay here because they know that if they come to the US, for example, most of the time, if you give them, say, if they're making double the salary, most of a lot of it is going to go back in expense. New York alone, I mean, the rent in New York alone would take away a lot of that money. So if we can just give them a little bit more, I think you'll get a lot of them stay, the nurses, but especially the teachers and the police. And I know if you do give one, we're going to say, where's mine? But
Hello? Oh dear. Interruption on the line. Reconnecting. Let's see if it does, if the system does in fact reconnect. Hello? 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 No. Hello? Yes, go ahead, please.
hello?
You're back.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that if the government cannot pay out some of these salary, we in the diaspora can come in and support some of these causes, like the teacher get a better salary, like they can hire more teachers. When teachers leave, a lot of times you have the experienced one leave, and the experienced one they're looking for, and they leave the one who will not experience sometimes. And then you have to put in 30, 40 kids into a classroom. A lot of times the school that have the 40 and 30 children, those are the schools that probably need it the most. Those are the schools that are not doing so well. So, we have to find ways around so that we don't have this happening.
Yes.
So I just want to put it out there. That's one of the things when it comes to the diaspora, but are some special taxes or something that we can do so that we can support teachers getting even the 5-year, couple years contract, so we can keep the teachers there. So the classroom, so the school can have more teachers in the classroom. They can have equipment. They can have things that the teacher needs. I just don't. We just can't move forward without these things, Dervan. We can't. Same thing in the police force. We need good prison system. More like a reformatory prison system for young people. The school system needs support, especially in the poorer community. We need that support, Dervan, to get these kids up to speed. Because when you leave school in Dervan, you can't read and write properly, What are you gonna do, Dervan? In this economy, in this time when technology and your banking, what are you gonna do, Dervan? Tell me.
Do whatever you need to do in order to survive.
But you're not gonna. You can't do much. You can't do much. Even if you're gonna do a trade now, you have to can read and write properly and know some math. So I'm just saying out there that, never in one sense is right, but the government probably hands are tied behind them back because they try to do so much, and the tax base is just not there. And when they talk about billions of dollars and billions of dollars there, when you break it down, man, it sounds like a lot of money. Because when they read the budget, they always talk about billions. But so when they talk about these budgets, they talk about million in US dollars, they talk about billion in Jamaican dollars. When you break it down, it's not much money. I heard, quickly before I go, I heard in the morning program, I think the union rep for the teacher one morning was saying somebody working for the NHS, the agency that control the housing. Is it NHS, not NHS?
NHT for housing. NHT, National Housing Trust.
Yeah, right. It's making $31 million a year. Something she said, but I think it was Jodian was interviewing her. She did not pick up on that. So I want to know if that's exactly, because something you heard things you're not sure. I want to know if it's true. Someone in Jamaica was working at an agency making $31 million, Dervan.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, she said the union rep for the teachers said that the government is paying with the same degree, pretty much. That's what she was saying. And I heard she said 31 million the person is making. When I did the math, it was like 200,000 US. So again, these are the things that I think if it's true, again, I'm not, I would just, because I would expect that Jordan should have picked up on that and asked her, make she verify what she was saying. But she did not, the interview didn't go too well in my opinion. But if it's true, Dervan, these are the things we got to nip it in the bud. How somebody can make $31 million when you can't pay a teacher $3 million? That doesn't make sense, right?
Well, it depends on the skill sets of the individual. It depends on a number of factors, actually, because there are some people who are supremely very well paid, not just here in Jamaica, but globally. Now it's for the country to decide whether we can, in fact, afford to compensate someone for that much. It's if there would have to be a policy decision in that regard, and or maybe a board decision as well. But yes.
If I were to get a job in Jamaica to the highest.
Hold on, please. One moment. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:15. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:15. Tien say, TDN le Wu Dien Cha Shi Wu Fen. 15 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Yes, you were saying?
Remember, if I were to get a job in Jamaica at the ice level, and the going someone want to give me $31 million per year, I would never take it, Dervan. I wouldn't have the heart to take it. When the minimum wage is $9,000 per week, right? I mean, that would be like I don't know. People do that, Dervan. I don't know why. I don't know. But if it's, I know there are some people out there making a lot of money, especially in government agencies. I don't know how they have the heart to take that money, Dervan. I don't know how they have the heart to take that money. Because, Dervan, there's not so much you need, to survive, it's just like here in America, when some of these billionaires, they are running these companies, having billions and billions, and the poor people working for them sometimes, even Walmart. Some of those Walmart people in Walmart back in the days, they couldn't even shop at Walmart. They couldn't shop there. And when Sam died, he left 80 billion. What's it? No. Every 4 kids, he left 80 billion for his children. For what? That's a sin. But quickly, if the government want to pay me $31 million a year, I couldn't take it, Dervan. I'm sorry. I have a heart. I couldn't take it.
Well, they will tell you that you're being altruistic and they are being realistic. In other words, there's a global standard, for example, in terms of what someone of a certain caliber and so on, and where they are on where they appear on the scale, and yes, and they approach it from that standpoint, that this person could have been earning this amount if he or she was working with this or that entity, and so they are in fact tell you that it's a bit of a step down because they would normally get this allowance and that thing and so on. So there is that too. There are those considerations as well. But fundamentally speaking, the 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 country, and by extension the organization, whether the agency, ministry, or department, has to be clear. There has to be a policy that sets a ceiling as to how high you can go, whether with a particular position or all positions, and then act accordingly. So it really is for the organization, the agency, the department, or the ministry to have a clear policy that takes into account likely concerns from the general public with respect to compensation of a certain level, at a certain level.
But Dervan, with all respect, all things are considered. If I go work for one little small little man, doing, for example, accounting work, okay, I may be doing the same thing as a CFO, a large corporation, But I don't expect that little man to pay me the same thing, Dervan.
Yeah,
it's just unrealistically. So when you look at an economy like Jamaica and these people making all 200 and 300,000 US dollars in Jamaica, the same it will be the same thing. You look at a country like the US, where a country where okay, they have, America is very large and they have large economy, large tax base, large this, large that, and the president making 400,000. In Jamaica, if the prime minister making 400,000, that doesn't equate. It's a total two different countries, two different countries.
No, they don't look at it that way. There has
to be that way. It has to be that way. There's no other way.
No, but fundamentally, whoever is looking to engage such an individual must have the backing of the cabinet, etc., to be able to say yes. We are going to try and recruit this particular individual at this cost. It would have to be a government agreed decision. Now, if that is the case, then the government would have to deal with some kind of a backlash. If that were the case, if they were to go ahead with such a decision.
Government is the one to be blamed for these things. A doctor in New York makes probably 100, maybe 10 times or 20 times what doctor makes in Jamaica. And there's a reason for it. The doctor in New York is a different economy. The doctor in Jamaica is a different. You can't charge patients in Jamaica like you charge in the US. It's just simple. So how you, because you is a so-called CEO running an agency in Jamaica, you're going to charge the same thing like you charge it in the US. This is unrealistic. That's the point I'm making.
And by the way, we're speaking in abstract here because I don't have any information on such a situation in Jamaica.
I know the fact that there are people in Jamaica making a whole lot of money in some of these agencies. When you look at their salary compared to what the average Jamaican making, it's ridiculous. And that's a problem. But we'll pick it up next time, Dervan.
All right. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. Let's clear some more messages. Dr. Trevor Dixon says, hi, Dervan. Warning all about the dangers of ackee. Not fit for consumption. It's a killer. Know your ackee. Oliver Masters says, I do agree with this caller with regard to Neville. Do these politicians ever think of taking a pay cut or having any charities? Yes, we have had those in Jamaica. Was it Bruce Golding's administration some years ago. And I'm trying to remember. I haven't read all the data with respect to down the years as to what actions have been taken in terms of salary cuts. But we've had a few over the years. We've had a few that I can remember. at least two. Uh, and Oliver Master says, I do agree with this caller with regard to Neville. Do these politicians ever think of taking? Oh, yes, that's a question I was responding to. Kirk Matt D says, Mr. Dervan Malcolm, Jamaica has its lowest unemployment rate in history. And Jamaica, IMF's country economist said, is on track to reach its goal of having the debt be 60% of GDP by March 2026. Why they say government of Jamaica don't care about the poor, asks Kirk Matt D. Well, it all depends. You have a sender and you have a receiver, and it's a matter of how the data is received. Do you receive the data dispassionately, meaning without the emotions of the individual, just dispassionately looking at raw numbers? Is that what you do? Or is it that once it is your political party or the political party that you support, that you just say yes, 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 everything that that party says or does, right? So it all depends on the individual and how the individual receives this data, because there are also those who might be unhappy with the data from the standpoint of it looked too good, and you have those from the standpoint of it looked too bad. So it all boils down to the individual and how the individual receives all this data, all these discussions, these stories in the papers, etc. It's really left up to the interpretation of the individual, and that essentially determines how they respond. Ricardo in Glengough, St. Catherine, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for staying in touch with us. And Ricardo is also greeting the Sabbath keepers, he says. No doubt they appreciate that. Thank you very much. Taki Lemqua says, bless on the downside of the afternoon, Dervan, and all on board. Great program as usual. Greetings from New Jersey. Greetings to you too, Taki Lemqua. And Ricardo is also on YouTube. Thank you all so much. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. And as I'm closing, I'm feeling really bad to see these unread messages. Clifford says, hi, Dervan. Greetings as usual. I keep asking myself, how come Jamaica is so lucky? I was watching a Jamaica road vlog in Portland. 95% of the roads covered by tree limbs. In Canada, all those tree leaves fall off in winter and get covered by ice and snow from November to April. I have shoveled up my leaves, put them in recycled bags, picked up, and I buy it back as soil manure in April. Lucky Jamaica. I wonder how many speeders would be alive driving from Negril to Kingston. Looking at the money woes in Jamaica, I hope the kids in school today are learning how many zeros are in 10,000, 100, and 1,000. Math is very important. I hope the high-rise builders remember that Jamaica is drought country. Winter in Canada, no rain in Jamaica. Durban, can you imagine every road in Jamaica have to be salted to drive around? No bikes on the road, only four wheels. Jamaica is lucky. I want to come home. Please prove to me I can. I worked hard here. Can I move around by myself freely? My friends think I'm stupid. Good luck, Jamaica, says Clifford. Another one, Dervan, this man is talking crap about the PM, don't want to raise teacher pay. And M Jam says that's great, Dervan, in reference to the fact that I have indeed collected the package for Mr. Robinson. Barbara Horton says, good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world, Mr. Malcolm. I just love to listen to Neville. We can learn a lot from him. Long time him don't talk, but I listen most days. You have a great weekend now. One says, good afternoon. I think we're going to have to leave it here, though. We're almost out of time. Sorry we haven't been able to get to all the messages. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Shandell Forbes for doing technical duties behind the scenes. Thanks to you, our faithful callers and listeners all around the globe, and viewers for making it both sides of the story. All things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Have a safe, peaceful weekend. Bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM.